She had survived 3 days in a demon's interrogation pit. No food, no water, no sleep. And when the door finally opened, it wasn't a guard. It was him. Takasya Kuthar was a spy. The best kind, the kind nobody believed existed. For 11 years, she had moved through the shadow courts undetected. She had watched demon princes scheme and slaughter. She had fed intelligence to the human resistance. She had survived things that should have killed her. But she had never been caught. Until now. The suppression collar around her throat was designed to neutralize power, to flatten whatever ability a prisoner carried and make them ordinary. Manageable. Safe. It wasn't working on her. Not entirely. And the demon prince who had just descended into her pit had noticed. His name was Varrak'en, third prince of the Kathep dynasty, the one the court called the Quiet One, not because he was gentle, but because the things he did were too precise to make noise. He was taller than she had expected, broader, the kind of presence that didn't need to announce itself because the room rearranged itself around him automatically. He looked at her the way you look at something you've been searching for. Not a prisoner, not a weapon, an answer. She had trained for this, for the moment when her cover cracked and someone looked through it. She had trained to show nothing, no fear, no recognition, no reaction. But when he stepped closer, something beneath her sternum pulsed. The crystalline blood in her veins, the thing the collar was supposed to suppress, responded to him, to his power, to the specific frequency of what he was. And he felt it. His eyes dropped to her chest, then came back to her face. "Tell me," he said quietly, "what you are." She made a decision in that moment. Not the mission decision, not the spy's calculation of risk and asset and acceptable loss. The other kind. The kind where you stop performing and start being real. "My name is Takasya Kuthar," she said. She watched his stillness change quality. "The last of the Kuthar bloodline. The one your father has been hunting for 11 years. The one your court has been offering rewards for. The one who has been working with the human resistance to prevent the genocide your father is planning." She held his gaze. "I am also the only person in this pit who knows how to use the Crimson Karakat gem, which means I am the only person who can help you do what you are actually planning to do." The silence stretched. "How do you know what I am planning?" he said. "Because I have been watching you specifically for 6 months. Because you are the only demon prince who has not participated in the genocide raids. Because your father has been trying to have you killed for 2 decades and you are still alive." She paused. "And because the way you looked at me when you entered this pit was not the way a person looks at a weapon. It was the way a person looks at an answer." He was quiet for a long moment. Then he reached out his hand. She looked at it, at the clawed fingers. The